speaking to him and I was like, nah, listen, let's talk about depression in a real sense. How does this make you feel? He goes, I personally don't believe it. I'm like, okay, why?
What is up, guys? It's your boy Izzy Supreme and I'm back with another one today. I'm with Owethu.
And
I don't like it that much. Okay, so today we're doing a Black Parents Don't Get It video, and this is actually the first episode. And Owethu and Sasha are the first people on the series. Today we're talking about depression and how Black parents don't get depression, right? This video is gonna be sad. Okay, so like to begin with, I personally don't understand. Well, I understand up to a certain degree, but I want us to be on the same page as to what depression is. Like just the simplistic definition.
Some people, okay, so I believe that like it's a chemical imbalance that's basically going on in your brain that causes you to have moments of, I don't want to say extreme sadness because it's not necessarily extreme sadness, but there's moments when like your body, you're not yourself, you're not, let's say I'm not Owethu, but like I'm going into a deep hole deep in my mind where I've placed myself that's like everything around me seems wrong or everything around me seems like it's not going correct and stuff like that. So I think it's just a chemical imbalance that puts you in a deep hole.
is it always yourself?
Yeah, that's my question as well. Is it always a chemical imbalance? Because some people say there's that, and then there's also the fact that your situation, your environment affects how you react or how you mentalize things, like how you process things. Then you eventually fall into that hole or trap of being depressed. Basically what you're saying is it can be a chemical imbalance and sometimes it's situational. So like it's individual based.
Because think about it this way, right? Let's say you've got two people over here. They've both gone through the same situation. Let's say they both of them, their siblings have died, right? One doesn't go through depression, but the other one goes through depression, right? Then you have another situation. The same two people, she gets bullied. Not the one that didn't get depression the first time gets bullied.
And
now she gets depressed. Whereas the other one, she's still depressed, but she's not as depressed anymore.
So essentially what Owethu is saying is that sometimes you grow up with it. It's something that's just in you. You know, it's genetic. And then you're saying it's also something you can develop.
Yes.
So on a general overview, we'll put it as it depends on who the person is. But essentially it can be both genetic or developed. Okay, fine. So then now comes in the issue where, okay, most Black parents think, well not most, I'm generalizing, but essentially the issue of how Black kids or Black youth feel like parents don't get the whole depression issue, and they think it's like an act or a phase, or you know, them just trying to be dramatic, you know, looking for attention. So with that being said, how do you feel about that situation?
I know, like for me, I had that talk with my dad the other time, and I was like, because sometimes it's good to speak to your parents about situations like this, even if it's hypothetical, if it's real. So I was speaking to him and I was like, nah, listen, let's talk about depression in a real sense. How does this make you feel? He goes, I personally don't believe it. I'm like, okay, why? He says, because it is your mental, you have control over your body, then your body has control over you. Does that make sense? Yeah. But I think now, this is a view now from someone that has grown up in the old days where they weren't exposed to that. If you were depressed, they'll say, go play outside. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you staying outside? You know what I'm saying? So like, and also the issues that they face and the issue that we face are two different issues. But then there's on top of that, I was speaking to my aunt about it as well, and she said that the age group that we are in right now, we don't have the same support structure as what they did. Like if you think about the amount of street kids that they are and the amount of children that are struggling, in the olden days that didn't happen because my child is your child and your child is my child. So if your child is struggling, I should be able to take care of her. If you can't give her food, she can come to my house and eat, you know what I'm saying? But these days you can't even go ask for salt, you know what I'm saying?
But like,
so that's the type of environment that I'm saying, like, as a child back then you had support, whereas now I don't think we have the same support system.
Because you know what also I think influences this whole depression state thing is that what Sasha's saying is in back then they were close, it was a whole community.
It's a family type of thing.
But now I'm not taking away from like social media or whatever, but I feel like social media also plays a role in that, because we're constantly, number one, it's taken away our communication skills. Like people don't connect as more, and like you said, we don't play outside anymore, we don't, you know, socialize. Everything we do is on social media, and everything we see or everything we're fed on social media kind of influences, subconsciously influences you into that state of comparing yourself or feeling like you're not good enough, and essentially that adds on as part of the factors that get you depressed or put you into a depressive state.
A whole different view that I see it as is also, for example, black parents grew up in a time, like for example, black parents here, most of our parents grew up in apartheid era, right? Where stuff like depression, I don't want to say like stuff, it was a minor, this was a small issue compared to the bigger picture of what was going on around them. Whereas white parents were living the privileged life, i.e. you could go to psychologists, this, all of that, but you've known it. Like, I'm not saying all white parents, this is a general thing, that it was like if somebody's depressed or what, there's a psychologist, so they grew up in a time when you were privileged enough to go to have the facilities and all of that, and whereas black parents were like, I'm depressed, no, I'm not free. Like, which struggle is more important right now? The struggle that I'm not free is more important, i.e. you put that in the back of your mind. So a lot of people just chose to put that in the back of their mind, because I don't want to be where I am currently. It wasn't important to them.
Essentially, they couldn't afford to be depressed because
of what was going on
surrounding.
So i.e. now that we're free, and now that we have the ability to see what's going on, to have opportunity, we're more
ourselves and more in tune.
So now you're able to sit there and be like, something's wrong, and your parents are like,
what are you talking about?
What are you going on about? Nothing's wrong with you, because to them it was never like a thing, like an important thing to worry about.
I was having this conversation and they said that depressive thoughts are in everyone. Everybody goes through a phase where you think bad and you think about hurting yourself. Some people it's more deeper than others, and some people it's just shallow, you know what I'm saying? Because I know sometimes if it gets tough, you're just like, damn, like really what's going on? And I feel like sometimes though, if it's not a chemical imbalance, and if your surrounding is okay, sometimes it's up to you to be like, no, I'm gonna pull myself out of that situation, because anyone can go real deep into their feelings and really lose deep into that hole, you know.
Going into that, like the other day I was speaking to, I think it was Sheldon, but it's not related to depression. Well, it kind of is, but we're talking about how everyone has a trigger point.
Yes.
You know, as in some people, my trigger point might be like, you know, very high, and yours might be low, and small things can trigger your, you know, state of insanity, your state of depression, or whatever it may be, you know, type of thing. So what Sash is saying kind of ties into that whole thing of, you know, some people get depressed because the situation they're going through is their trigger point. Exactly, like that cancer thing. Everyone has cancer cells, but some people get triggered, and some people, you know, and starts that whole
I
virus
also think,
thing.
not depression's obviously not like contagious or anything, but I think like when you're around somebody, for example, whether it be somebody you're dating, somebody that's your friend or something like that, that's going through it so much, and you want to pull them out. You pull yourself so deep into that because you want to yank them out of the situation that you've pulled yourself in.
You know what I see with that situation is sometimes people want to pull other people out, but they themselves are not strong enough.
Yes.
Because it comes down with the pain threshold. You don't know what your threshold is.
Yeah.
So you busy going down there to pull someone out. Time you don't know.
You don't know.
Maybe down there is also where your threshold is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird, I know, but sometimes in situations of depression, I feel like as a friend, the most you can do is, let's say, when they're speaking bad about themselves, or if they're saying, I wish I could die, you'd be like, listen, life is still there tomorrow, life is still there. We'll carry on. You just give them compliments. If they're insecurities, give them compliments. If it's schoolwork, help them, send them, give them the opportunity to try reduce it. You know what I'm saying? Rather than being like, okay, you wanna die? Oh, no, same.
But as a parent, like, how do you, because okay, like you said, black parents are not what's it called, as in tune with this whole depression.
Yeah.
And like it's something new for them. It's not
yeah.
like they choose to react the way they do. It's just
they don't understand.
Exactly, they don't understand it.
Yeah.
So as a black parent, or if it were your parents or whatever, how would you expect your parents to deal with that issue? Type of thing of depression.
I think I'll use myself as an example. Like I've gone to a psychologist twice before, right? Once when I was a bit younger and once last year. So not last year, year before. So I've gone to a psychologist and everything like that. And what she told me was that obviously not everyone can go to a psychologist, not everyone can afford that. But yeah. But what you need to do, what happened with me was that she brought my parents in separately. Don't talk to your parents together because that's a tag team and you're one man. Whereas when you sit with them separately and you sit with one and you sit there and you're like, you don't. I know the thing with parents is that it's hard to sit, especially black parents, it's hard to sit and explain something to them that they don't want to understand.
Yeah, exactly.
That they really just are
Yeah.
tuning out.
Yeah.
That you need to sit there and be like, Mom, you don't understand that this is something that's happening to me. This is something that's affecting your child.
Exactly.
Like it's affecting me. And the fact that it's affecting me and you can't see it upsets me because I'm sitting here and I feel alone. Like you need to let your parents know that as much as they're there, they're not there.
But I think with that being said, like not all black youth or black kids are able to open up to their parents.
That's true.
And that also comes into that whole thing of how they were, like, you know, groomed as a child. For instance, me, like, I can open up to my parents to a certain extent. We don't talk about girlfriend, we don't talk about that and that, because I've never grown up to have that sort of relationship with them. So I guess essentially, as much as it's, yes, that whole thing of communication, it's difficult for us to approach our parents if they don't, you know, give us that space, that platform to say, you know, if you're going through stuff, I'm here. If this is happening, I'm here. Exactly.
Yeah.
Even if they do, you won't, because you're just not used to that thing, you know?
I won't lie. I think our parents installed, not every parent, but like most of our parents installed a bit of fear. When you, like not fear like a scary, like I'm scared of but a bit of fear to step into that water, and the fear that they're gonna judge you. Because like, I feel like a lot of parents are really judgmental. So the fear, i.e. why you end up not talking about boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever. Because the communication, the response you feel like you're going to get is why you with the girl, you're going to get her pregnant. That's the type of idea that, a judgment. Do you see what I'm saying? That they placed a bit of judgment that kids end up being like, I'd rather.
Like I know with my parents, I wasn't close with them for a long time. But as I got older, I saw like, sometimes you're shooting your own self in the foot because they know things you don't know. You know what I'm saying? And even though, yeah, it's hard for you to connect with them, but there's certain conversations you can slowly bring in. Have you ever seen when someone, take two people that are dating, before they get to dating, they first have to throw little comments to see how it's going, you know what I'm saying? So you put in that little comment, mom, I've got a boyfriend. You see how she reacts. And then you say you're joking. Like I do that with my mom all the time. Like 100%. And then I see how she reacts, and then I say, okay, these jokes are getting a bit easier. Then I put in another one, then I put in a different one, and I go a different route. So now I know what are the conversations we can have and what are the conversations that we can't have. Like I know now. My mom is, especially now that she's not living with me, when we speak, I don't know, it's almost shallow, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's very difficult, like, I'm losing track of the depression thing, but it's very difficult for you to connect with parents when you feel like the only conversations that you can have are hi, hello, how are you? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if it's up to you, if you want the connection, if you want to be able to talk to them, you must initiate it. It's now time for, because I know a lot of people are like, you know, my mom doesn't talk to me. Do you try to talk to your mom? Do you go to ask your mama, how was work today? Because sometimes they're also going through issues you don't know. And through the issues that they're going through, you can deal with your issues because you're connecting over issues.
So you're saying it comes from both, essentially.
It does.
If you want your parents to get it, you have to take that initiative of being responsible, telling them what you're going through, trying to, you know, get that connection, that communication.
And asking for help.
And asking for help. So, like, for me, I get what you're saying, Sasha, but there's also people that, like Oweitu said, parents that are really ignorant. Like, you'll tell them, ma, this is what I'm going through, or ma, I'm really struggling. this and this is happening to me, and they like for instance, this happened to me, this whole thing of this is not related to depression, I'm not depressed, but a whole thing of mental stability. If you're not in tune mentally, physically, spiritually, those three have to work with each other. If one is out of balance, your whole life is out of balance. So like for that whole math test thing I told you, I studied so hard for it, I prepped, I slept early, I did everything, but mentally I wasn't in tune, and there's reasons because of the pressures I've been having. And I feel like I've tried to explain to them, the reason I did bad on that test is not because I didn't work hard enough or whatever, but they just don't get it. They're so ignorant. What do you do in that situation? How do you approach that?
I don't know. I don't know how you would deal with that situation, because it's not something where you can be like, nah, mama, mentally unstable. She'll look at you crazy. She's like, what's going on? It's not like you can speak. It's unlike being physically or spiritually. Because I know if you with spiritual parents,
they get it. The spiritual side. That's the thing.
They'll be like, yeah, I've got 5 scriptures for you. Pray this like this.
But when it's time
for mental or the other things, they're not in. So I guess I think it's a thing where we need, well, essentially this is an initiative as well that I'm taking to open up for black youth to be able to type of thing. So I think we need more platforms or more spaces where black parents can get that type of education or whatever. Even if it's not education, but some sort of campaign, type of thing. Because if you don't put it out there, they don't see the problem. But with that whole ignorant thing, I honestly think there's only so much you can do if your parents are ignorant. There's only so much. For that, it's just consistency. Just keep on trying your best. And I know trying gets tiring, it does. You keep on going, this is the issue, this and that, and they don't hear you, or they just keep ignoring you type of thing. But essentially, I think it's just, if you can't go to your parents, also go to other people.
I was just about to say, if, for example, some people would go, I know when I was not in tune, one of my LO teachers, if a teacher or something notices that something's wrong and you're you don't have to open up your whole life, and you're just this is what's going on, but my parents don't seem to get it. They can talk to your parents. They're there too as an outlet. I know it's not your favorite outlet, but they're there to explain, because I'm not gonna lie, I think parents understand. You see, when a teacher's gonna come and be like, something's wrong with your kid, that's when your parents are like, okay, you know what,
I don't know why that's
something, I know what, something's wrong. Something is actually wrong with her, because this authority figure that's sitting there at school is noticing her schoolwork isn't doing well. Her mentally, she's not there. She's quiet. She's something's wrong. She's pulling herself in.
Can I just say with that, it goes back to that whole thing of being ignorant then. Because if you're not willing to listen to your child because they're a child and they have a different, you're being ignorant as a parent. Can I just read a few comments that I got? This person said, okay, black parents think we overreact and we're spoiled compared to how they were when they were kids. They don't think there's something called depression. They just think we don't want to be. They just think we don't want to be corrected. Cool. And then they think it's a white. Okay, another person. They think it's a white person disease just because when they were growing up, black people didn't have depression and it wasn't a taboo thing. Okay, then we have another person. She goes, hey, and Vele, they don't get it and they don't want to get it, or they're just oblivious of it because also black children don't really come out about such things. And last but not least, they just think you're dramatic. It's not their fault. They were never taught to care about it.
You see, that last part, that's what I think just stems up everything of what everyone said. They were never taught that.
I think that comes down to the fact that we've got different problems.
Yeah. And it's a different generation, fam. What you went through is not the same thing I'm going through. And back then, like you said, there wasn't time to be emotional, to be this and this. You had to run to school, you had to run from cops, you had to do this and that. You were everything was physically based. Now we have more freedom as black kids to be in tune with our emotions. And essentially, I just think it's that whole thing of trying to speak to your parents. If you can't speak to your parents, speak to someone else. Find someone to speak to about your depression, about what you're going through. And eventually, hopefully, they'll link up and they'll see the problem and get the mind change.
And even if it helps, speak to someone your own age, but make sure that you know that their character is strong enough that you won't pull them down with you.
Okay, cool. To end it off, anything you want to say to black parents, to the youth?
To black parents, listen. I know you don't like to do it, but listen. Your kids have something to say, and they probably have something good to say.
To the youth?
Yeah. To the youth, guys, first of all, we can make this better. We can turn stuff that's taboo to not be taboo. So stop shielding yourself away because you fear the idea of it being seen as weird.
Screw. Sakuna.
Yeah. That's not a
Oh, sorry. Sakuna. I'm joking, Sasha. Go.
So, I feel like it's just communication. If you open up your channels of communication with yourself, with people outside, you'll be okay. That's my even to the parents.
To the parents.
Yeah.
So essentially it comes from both. Like a relationship needs two people to work. But anyway guys, that has been the video. Thanks for watching. It's been your boy Izzy D Supreme. Please follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'll be doing polls and what are they called, those other things where I ask questions about certain things for the questionnaires for the series. And if you want to put your input, your opinion or whatever, send them through on my social media. But it's been your boy Izzy D Supreme with Owethu Sasha. Follow them on Instagram as well, and I'll catch you in my next video.
Subscribe!